going on, guys? Welcome to Garage 23, and this is a 2008 G37 Sport Coupe, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of aero work on it. Going to be installing some side splitters from Aero Blitz, a front lip, and some side mirror visors from AeroWolf. So come check it out. Okay, step one, jack up the car. And to jack up the car, we need to drive it up on ramps because it's too dang low for our jack to fit under it. Buzz. Totally wasn't worried about it rolling back into my garage door. Totally cool. Gotta get your chest workout in whenever you can. Switch reps. Let's see what we're working with. So most cars nowadays actually have some sort of stock side skirt, like a G35 7s and 350Zs, 370Zs. This whole panel comes off and is essentially a side skirt, and it's attached to the frame from the bottom also. So that's probably going to be how we're going to attach it. It's just a matter of trying to find some holes that line up with something. Might be able to get this front screw, if anything. It'll be like the first one. But all the rest are too deep in the car, so you wouldn't even be able to tell it has a splitter anyway. So we're gonna have to make something else work to stick it out a little more. Because what's the point of getting this if it looks like it blends into the factory side skirt, right? I think first step is gonna be to clean all this up because it's pretty dirty. I'm using much too nice of a spray to be cleaning this part of the car. Adams Polishes Graphene Detail Spray. I don't think that's gonna work either because the length of it hits on the mud flap. Hey Nikki, you wanna keep this mud flap or what?
I think so. Let's see.
Because we could keep it and cut the splitter shorter, or we could remove it and leave the splitter how it is. All right, so first issue is this little mud flap that comes on the G37 stock. It's kind of in the way because it interferes with where the side splitter would bolt up. So we're gonna see if we remove it, if it looks like the paint is decent under there. It looks like it's just a couple screws. Ew. I think that'll work. And that at least gives us one empty location to put the screw to secure this thing. All right, so we're gonna try and line it up and then mark the location of that bolt hole or screw hole, whatever, and drill that one out so we have somewhere to start as far as securing this thing. All right, so we got our location of where the bolt hole is on the car. And so we're just gonna drill and leave enough space for this washer basically to be useful. So about right there. That was easy. So now this should line up and you can screw the front in at least. Yeah, that's a good place to start. Could even like angle it out more instead of like flat out. All right. Actually, I don't think it's gonna have enough room to screw into anything back here. Because we need the bottom edge to be on the flat part of the side skirt or else if it's on the curved part, we're not gonna be able to like really screw it into anything. All right, I'm just gonna pick a spot and hope it hits metal. Before anybody says anything about it being held up with self-tapping screws, my Rocket Bunny fender flares from Japan literally came with a bag exactly like this. So even Rocket Bunny tells you to secure your fender flares with sheet metal screws. Now we get the little sticky tape off of this one. Then we just hope that doesn't fly off on the freeway. Like you can still see the little logo poking out too. It's nice.
Crashing with these side skirts.
Snip first. Oh dude, that was cake. Okay, so we're just gonna chop this little corner here. Just in case it hit the tire. Kind of sharp. It's plastic on the inside, it's not foam. All right, now do the other side extra quick. Nice. All right, so we got the lip secured and we used all the self-tappers that came with the kit, but that's probably not the best way to attach it, because if you hit basically anything, it's probably gonna come flying off, especially if you're on the freeway. So we're gonna replace at least some of the screws with stainless hardware with big fender washers and nylock locking nuts. So, and that's kind of a trade-off, right? Because if you secure it this well, if you hit something, the whole bumper is gonna come off. So I guess kind of pick and choose what you want to deal with, right? Either the lip breaking off and flying off and having to buy a new one, or the lip staying there but potentially damaging your bumper more. Nani? I don't know, but we're at least gonna replace 2 or 3 of the self-tappers with some stainless hardware, so let's get started. All right, so I got Allen screws to replace the self-tappers with. That way, if you do happen to crash into something, it won't get caught on the hardware at least. We're just gonna replace that, put our washer on the other side, and then our lock nut. And so that way the lip and the bumper will be basically sandwiched together with the hardware. And we hold the lock nut on the back and hopefully just crank this down. Yeah. Now we're just gonna replace probably 2 more on each side, and I think that should be good. We probably don't want to replace every single one because, like I said, if you happen to hit something, we don't necessarily want it to damage the bumper too much. So I think a couple on each side should be good. Next up is gonna be these little side mirror wind visors from AeroWolf. Got a crazy looking little wolf there on the edge. And supposedly you're just supposed to heat these up with a heat gun and kind of mold them into shape. So hopefully we don't burn anything. That's hot. Probably should wear gloves. So that looks like it fits pretty good. So now we peel off the backing that hopefully wouldn't melt to the plastic. It's still kind of hot though. More sticky tape. Hopefully this one works. Yeah. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this week. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys liked the little Aero bits we installed on this car. I think the little bit goes a long way. It really changes the look of the car overall. Hope you guys learned something and tell us what you think down in the comments. And as always, do your best. See you guys next time.
できなかった人はちゃんと復習するようにね。
Wait, I forgot who was singing the song like "Wade in the water."
That's a good song too.
In the water. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine.
Why do you have like the perfect like black gospel singer voice?
I don't know, man. Maybe I was born in the wrong.